Take a note of where you are now. Let's see where you are at the end of this, because this is about you dancing, not just us. So call the police, one of my favourites.
Oh, I think we're going through.
Well, then let's go through with both, so we can connect that one as well.
Oh, right. Okay, do you want to have a go? I'll put you on.
So let me check. Do we have our YouTube on?
Yes.
So let's have a look. We have YouTube. Hi, Karen Z. And we're also on Facebook. So now we have both Facebook Live and YouTube. However, we just read in the papers that YouTube, the Virgin, our internet provider, has got a few issues at the moment. They've had them for an hour or so. So we don't know how the connection will be.
On YouTube.
So we'll keep both up. So let's see. Oh, we got Jane. Hello, Jane. We're here on Facebook. Yay! Well done, well done. And who have we got on? You have to put my glass on for YouTube. It happens when you get older. We've got Karen and Steve from Bucks. And we've got Jennifer. We're here at last. Thank you for joining us. Internet is playing up. We'll join as soon as possible, Jennifer. Yes. Tell me about it. If you're with Virgin, your internet is playing up. We're just going to put a different lens. Our little secret is we have a wide-angled lens. It's so cool. So if any of you ever do anything like this and you need a wider angle, get a wide-angle lens. Right.
Okay, and we're on.
Today's show is meant to be the Rhythm and Blues Review. Now, that means there's going to be lots of Joe Turner, Delta Rhythm Boys, Lionel Hampton, Count Basie. We're going to be playing lots and lots of great music. We were meant to teach a stroll. Are we still going to do the stroll?
Should we do it quickly?
Okay.
I think it's important to get everybody up and dancing, warm up for the evening.
Even if you know it, come and join us. We're going to do, we've got somebody from Athens.
Wow.
Hello, Kalimera. Oh, Mariangela.
Kalispera.
And Derek is on YouTube. And his wife Jane is on Facebook. Are they? Interesting. What's happened here? Back on YouTube a bit better, says Derek. Yes. Okay. Let's do our Latin stroll, which is what we plan to do, but we're going to do it very quickly because we're running a little bit late. So it starts like this. So everybody up. Push your chairs to one side. Off those sofas. You on the yellow sofa, I can see you. Stand up. Okay. And we need to just move the other lens up a bit. Okay, we're just going to adjust all the lenses because we just moved them all. So in case you don't know, we are Simon and Anna, and this is our Swing at Sway online, and we are here to entertain you.
Every Monday.
With a bit of edutainment. I love that word, edutainment. Entertainment and education combined. Woo! How cool. Right, Latin stroll. It started with a mambo step. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So let's turn around. We go forward on the left foot. Forward, replace, together. Go back on the right, back, replace, together. Forward and together, back and together. And you guessed it, we do it 2 times. No, 2 times, not twice. Okay.
What's the difference?
What's the difference? Well, 2, I think. Okay, we're next going to do the cha-cha-cha step. So we're going to go step, step, cha-cha-cha, step, step, cha-cha-cha. One more time.
Easy.
That's too easy. So let's make it travel there. We're going to step forward and we're going to turn over our right shoulder and step. And now you can't see us, but you can hear us, and you're going to go cha-cha-cha, left, right, left. Turn around, let's do it one more time. So we go forward and turn, left, right, left. That means your right foot's free, correct? Step forward on the right foot. Now turn over your left shoulder. Turn over the shoulder on the foot you're about to step. And cha, cha, cha. So watch it once, watch it once. It goes left, right, cha, cha, cha. Right and left. And cha, cha, cha. Together with us. 5, 6, here we go. Step, step, cha, cha, cha. Step, step, cha, cha, cha. From there, we go cucaracha. So we touch to the side and replace, touch the side and replace. So it's 1, 2, and repeat. 1 and 2. And then the last step is a samba step. And it has a little rolling action of the hips, moving the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So it's not the last step.
No, it's not the last step. But we're going to do it from the top. Follow us. Anna, do you want to check if people are commenting? I see a few comments.
Yeah, let's see. It says we've got excellent connection, which is excellent news.
Excellent. And they can see us on Facebook Live as well. Any
I
comments
think
there?
so. Julia is online. Hi from Ukraine. Hi, Julia. Super. Enjoying Jazzolation as well. And Catherine is on Facebook.
Okay, from the top of our Latin stroll, we go Forward and back, back and forward. A mambo step, cha-cha-cha. We go step, step, cha-cha-cha. A step, a cha-cha-cha. Cucaracha to the side, right, left, right samba. A 1 and 2 and 3, work the hips. A 1 and 2 and 3 and freeze. We're going to do a slow turn, half time. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Woo! Only we're going to make that turn a quarter turn. So watch again. We go 1, 2, 3, boom. 1, 2, 3. Over rotate by 90 degrees. So you're now facing a new direction. Very exciting. So let's do it one more time. Forward and together, back and together. Forward and together, back and together. We go left, right, cha cha cha. Right, left, cha cha cha. Cucaracha to the side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. A samba step. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Work the arms at the same time. Step, 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 and step, step, step. Over rotate. You now have your backs to us. You cannot see what's happening. Just listen to my voice. You are enjoying yourself. This is the Swing at Sway, and you will share this event with all your friends the moment you get a second to press the button. Right, are you still hearing me? Okay, so one more time, mambo step. We go forward and back, back and forward. Forward and back, back and forward. We go step, turn, 1, 2, 3. Step, turn, cucaracha to the side, to the side, to the side, to the side. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Over rotate and ready to start from the top. Okay, that is the Latin stroll. We are going to do that later tonight. We are going to do that a little bit later, and you are ready to do it. Now, let me just check. Can you still hear us on YouTube? Because I see a few people going, oops, spoke too soon. So it looks like it might have gone. So it sounds like Virgin are having issues. So if any of you are on Virgin, you might be having issues too. And people on Facebook, can you still see us? Wave if you can. Send us a like. Send us, I'm here anyway. And there's nothing else on TV, so you're going to watch us instead, which is brilliant.
Jaylene is saying hello. Jaylene went back to the US a few months ago after she was a regular at Sway, so welcome back to Sway.
Yeah, it's nice to see you, Jaylene. We've been missing you, but how's life in California? I believe you're in lockdown as well. California, is it?
I think so, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's California, but let us know. So how's life out there? I know you're in lockdown as well. I know some countries it's slightly different, but hopefully we'll all be out of lockdown soon enough, and then you won't have to listen to us on YouTube or Facebook Live. So we want to thank Paulette Brockington, who actually taught me that stroll many, many moons ago. If you know Paulette Brockington, she runs the American Swing Dance Championships. I know I've seen her post a few things online. She came over to London once, but previously she'd invited me to teach many times at the American Swing Dance Championships. So I said, you must teach at the 100 Club. So she taught a class and I got her to do the warm-up, and that was her warm-up. I thought it was quite fun. Right, the classes. Did you do the classes?
Did you find the classes? Did you know there were classes?
Did you know there were classes? So on our YouTube channel, SwingdanceUK, we put some free classes up there. Beginners, should we show what we did?
Yeah, let's show you. You can always find it later because you can. The classes are recorded, so you can find them at any time. You can always revisit.
So we did a beginners class, and on the beginners, I'm going to take the glasses off for this one. On the beginners, we did a tuck double turn. 5, 6, 7. We did a circle. We did a mooch. Through the middle, and a slide. Ooh. So if you think, hey, that's pretty cool, I could learn that, then check out the YouTube channel, maybe after the show now. What do we do for intermediates? We did some variations, didn't we?
Some Lindy turn variations, starting with a sweep.
So, Lindy intermediates, we assume you know the basics, and we added 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1, 2. And then we said, what else can we do with that step? So we looked at different ways how we could add that sort of different places where we can add footwork. We took another basic. We did the another footwork, replacing the rock step.
Kick kicks. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1. Kick, and 2, 4 step.
And we said, is that the only place you can do it?
Surely not.
No. So we said you could do it from a change places. 1. And of course, we explored some other ideas of where you could do it. We then said, wait a minute, we can do that one bit of footwork, the second bit of footwork. One's on 7, 8, one's on 1, 2. We could combine them. Brilliant. Why didn't I think of that? So let's combine them. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can combine those two bits of footwork. They're basically classic Frankie Manning footworks. And then we had another one,
which is not about footwork, another variation that we called leader go under, because the leader goes under. Under
the arched window. Okay, so we went Lindy turn, 3, and 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we said, where else could we do that? Got an idea. Well, 1, 2, 3. A lot of us intermediate should know that. How about adding
a flash
through the arch? Okay, so that's what we did in our 2 classes. Quick recap for those who were there, and for those who weren't there, you might say, looks interesting. I could pick up a few tidbits, so you might go off there and look at those after this session, not before. Right, those were the 2 classes. Oh, and I know a lot of you are asking, but wait a minute, how does my partner know how to do that footwork? Now, how many people are asking that question? You can let us know on Facebook or on YouTube. Have we still got people on? Oh, Georgia, hello, Georgia May, how are you? Great to see you there. Now, I know you've been into
Andrea, hello.
Different things. So Georgia, you've been doing a lot of medieval stuff. Are you still doing that? That was cool. Okay, and then we've got Andrea, fantastic, nice to see you too. Okay, we don't have to know our partner's doing it. It's individual styling, so you can just style it any which way you want. Right, I think it's time for a little bit more music. Now, we sort of want to have a bit of a rhythm and blues review theme. Now, that was filmed in 1955, or was it? You see, I'm not so sure. And I've had a look online, and other people weren't so sure either. What they actually did was they took older footage that was filmed in about 50 and 51, and they put it into a compilation that they reused back in 55. So actually, you'll notice from the way people are dressed, from the music, from the lineups, it's actually, most of the material is a lot earlier. I think some of it may have been shot later. However, we're going to play a nice slow song, and it's called One More Kiss. So everybody, you don't need a partner. If you haven't got a partner, just dance. That's what this is about. You just got to get up there and dance a little bit. Want to keep you moving a bit and having some fun. So here we go. One more kiss. Yeah. Let's dance a little bit.
One more kiss.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm lost in it, darling, darling, that the dance was swell. We got to dance to a rock and roll band. I got a chance to hold your hand. One kiss before I go home. One more kiss to make me feel right. Well, now I couldn't drive home, darling, if you didn't kiss me goodnight. So the others wish that they could beat my time. I smile at them and say that you are mine. One kiss. Oh, go home. Now, when we rock and roll and all the people out there say, girl, look at you. Look at you. They're so fine and harmless, but you're stuck. We have a whole rain of people just standing around us. One kiss. Oh, go home. Well, now my heart keeps a pounding and a pounding and carrying on. One more thing before I get out of sight. Can I take you out on a road night? One kiss. Oh, go home. Getting that down before go home. Oh, go home.
One more kiss, indeed. Right. So, have we still got connection on YouTube?
I believe so. It says excellent connection, which is
Excellent connection, excellent,
fantastic.
excellent. And can they still see us? Has anyone else
It
joined us?
says
And if so, where are you from? Roger, Jerry B is in High Wycombe. Cheryl, hello
Hi,
Cheryl, how are
Cheryl.
you? How's the sculpting going? How's the painting? YouTube a bit out of sync. Okay, that's interesting. Somebody, Cherry, can see and hear us. And we've got Jane has come back to Facebook. She's deserted YouTube and come back to Facebook. We've got Dawn. Hi, Dawn. Cool, excellent. So let's have a look. So we're talking about the Rhythm and Blues Review. It is. I actually had the link. I was going to write it up. Maybe I'll do that later. We'll put out the link. Link to the show. It's on YouTube.
Yes.
It's just over an hour long, but it's got some great artists. The likes of Joe Turner, Count Basie, Lionel Hampton, and some beautiful singers. It's a little bit of everything. It's also got some comedians, and it's got Nipsey Russell, who is mentioned in Norma Miller's book about comedians. She wrote a book. She was actually a comedian, Norma Miller, the dancer.
She was, but I don't think many people know that.
No, it was a sort of a third career. She had the Lindy Hop career first.
Yeah.
Then she had her jazzmen and was in Las Vegas and did lots of shows, touring with Count Basie and people like that, with Chaz and Billy Ricker, I think were dancers in that. It was Norma Miller and her jazzmen. And then she got into comedy through a gentleman called Red Fox, who was very famous in America. So any Americans probably know him, but maybe not so well known in Europe. And they had a show that was Stanford and Sons, and Norma was in a couple of those shows. And she also toured with the comedians and was on the stand-up comic circuit. And
that must have been unusual for a black woman at the time.
She said there weren't too many of them.
Yeah, I can believe that.
It was people like Richard Pryor and who's the one who got arrested?
I wouldn't know.
Richard Pryor and Bill Crosby and lots of other people. So she was working with really top comedians.
She was a true entertainer. She could do anything as long as it's on the stage.
Yeah. Even later, she became a singer at like 90 years of age.
Yeah.
So pretty
with our
amazing.
good friends in Italy, Maurizio and Roberta.
Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look. Let's have some more music. Okay, this is one you can practice your classes to. It's called Swingin' on Lenox Avenue.
Who's it by?
Erskine Hawkins. Oh yeah.
High Dawn in Hertfordshire. Hertfordshire.
Now we've got Catherine as well.
Oh,
Okay,
Catherine.
let's dance. Everybody up and let's dance.
Apologies to the Facebook viewers.
Yes, Erskine Hawkins that was, swinging on Lennox Avenue, and we were swinging here in our home of swinging feet at the Residence de Selmons. And were you swinging where you were? So let us know if you were dancing. It's very nice for us to dance. We need the exercise. I know I've been eating too much of Anna's cheesecake, her home-baked cheesecake. This is what happens when you stay at home too long. But we need to know that you're dancing as well, not just drinking wine, Spodiodi.
Excellent idea. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Now, is the YouTube still on? I see an image from about 10 minutes ago, what we're doing 10 minutes ago on YouTube. Maybe they can hear us.
No, I think it's working.
Should we send the link to Facebook as well, or they need it?
No, they found us on Facebook.
It's a first online session, Catherine. It's your first online session, and you've picked one that's not working quite so well technically. Not our fault. It is the internet. It is Virgin who we have to blame, but I'm sure it's not their fault. I'm sure they're doing everything they can to sort it out. I'm sure that Richard is there personally with his screwdriver trying to fix the problem on a Monday night. Absolutely. Now, let's have a look. So we were talking about the Rhythm and Blues Review. Interestingly enough, when this show came out, it was the early 50s. It was really before rock and roll was making it big. I know by 55, everyone was calling it rock and roll. But what was rhythm and blues? Well, it was a sort of it was still jazz inspired, but it was moving away from the big bands and it was going into the smaller bands with a heavier beat. Now, they started to change instruments and they started to put more emphasis on the guitar. You had the electric guitar coming in, and that made a huge difference to the music. I'm not really a fantastic technically into the music. I just know what I enjoy. I actually love swing music, but I also love rhythm and blues. It used to be called sometimes roots music. They also sometimes called it jump blues. There were also slight variations in the genre. And then it was Alan Freed who started promoting he had a rhythm and blues show, and Alan Freed started promoting the term rock and roll, and that's when it became, he really
I thought it was
popularised the
from
word.
Rock Around the Clock.
Well, he was in the movie Rock Around the Clock. He actually was part of the reason there was the movie. And he,
so was he a producer or a musician?
He was a DJ. Alan Freed was a DJ. Yeah. And what they used to do back in those days was he had a radio show, and they would take big money from all the record producers who wanted them to play their records. Because when you played it on the record, just like we did now, you're all going to go out to your local record shop and buy that particular record. We know how it works. Actually, I mean, it's the same thing, really, isn't it? You know, when people, they hold up their can of, something, and everybody says, oh, we must go and buy that. They get all this sponsorship. We haven't quite mastered the art, though, have we? We haven't quite got the sponsorship yet. So any sponsors out there who wanted to promote their product for money, yes, we're interested. Send the products through. Send us the checks, and we'll be very happy to promote it for you if it's something we believe in. That is the criteria. Okay.
So,
yes.
Do you want to play music, or should I ask a question now?
Oh, okay. Should we have a vote? Do you want me to play music, or do you want Anna to ask a question?
And Simon to talk for a while.
Let's have Anna ask a question.
I'll save it for. Oh, okay.
No, ask your question.
No, I was just wondering.
So I look studious and know the answer.
You must know everything. So you mentioned a little bit how the music changed to rhythm and blues, or how it was different, but did it change the dancing?
Yes, it did.
How?
That's going to be for another day. No, we'll just explain. But let me first explain about the music.
Okay.
Because the big bands who were very popular prior to the Second World War, they're quite uneconomical, if I'm honest. Like, you've got 18 musicians, they had to have a huge tour bus, they had to have all the people helping them. There was, it was a huge entourage, and it was expensive for clubs to pay. So there was a war on. A lot of them got sent off to war. So the bands, it was hard to hold a big band together. I think it was many reasons, taste changing. There was, of course, the dance floor tax, which you all know about.
Which came out in
44 through until 1965. They had a dance floor tax in America. If you had a nice dinner dance, the clubs, the supper clubs, which was the popular places, they were the places that could afford the big bands. And they would make their money. So I'm looking at the Facebook one, but there's YouTube. Hello, YouTube. They would make their money, on the drinks and the food. And of course, the revenue people thought, you know what, it's not going to stop people going out. We're just charging a little bit of tax, a mere 30%, on top of the bill, just to, pay for everything, pay for all the government's expenses. Sounds a bit like today, really, isn't it? Anyway, so they charged this tax, and of course, soon the clubs were going, well, you know what, maybe if we've got to pass this tax on to the clients aren't very happy about it. So, of course, they started to encourage music that wasn't for dancing. And at the time, bebop was the musician's dance. And bebop was playing sort of in the after-hour clubs where the musicians would hang out. And it became trendy. The problem with bebop, though, it wasn't really made for dancing. It was made for the intellectual. It was made for intellectuals to listen and absorb, and so it didn't really catch on in the same way.
There's some dancers, but it's more of a specialist. It's a bit niche, isn't it, for dancers?
So it went the other way. So it went towards rock and roll and rhythm and blues.
Yeah.
Now, talking of rhythm and blues and rock and roll, I did have a Count Basie song, but I'm going to skip that. In fact, I'm going to not like our wine. Our wine is actually very good. This wine, I might add, is very special.
Oh, it's a special one.
It actually is made by Anna's family.
It's made by my uncle.
But maybe your uncle. In what part of France?
In south of France.
And
in the Corbière, for the connaisseur.
Has he actually trodden the grapes himself? Has he taken off his shoes and socks?
Obviously, that's what he does all day.
And
no, but it's an
organic white wine.
For a second reason as well.
Yes.
It was our wedding wine, and we still have.
Which was several years ago. He sent us so much wine, and we are not big drinkers. We, a sip here or there. So yeah.
We love
so
it.
anyway,
It's brilliant. It's
cheers.
delicious. But
Let's
we
play some
still
music
drink
and
it.
let's get you guys dancing again. And I think this time let's go to a little Amos Milburn. Oh, actually, should I play a record? I'm going to play a
Yes,
record.
I think so.
Yeah. We'll have a little Diana Washington. So I've got my records out. Here it is. There's for the Facebook people and for the YouTube people.
For you YouTube people, a bit higher. There we go.
And for Facebook people, a bit lower. And YouTube, Facebook. Facebook, YouTube. Yeah, you've got the idea. Right, let's play a record. So this one is called Evil Gal Blues.
Oh.
It's a lovely song. This is a cracker, as they say.
Oops, I have to show you.
Right, little live record playing coming up here. This is the old-fashioned way to play music. Some of you won't remember the records, but there it is. Ooh, listen to that evil gal.
Let's have the YouTube people see as well.
Yeah. I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it.
I'm an evil gal. Don't you bother me. Yes, I'm an evil gal. Don't you bother me. I'll empty your pockets and fill you with me. I've got men to the left, men to the right, men every day and men every night. I've got so many men. I don't know what to do. So I'm telling you, Daddy, I ain't no good to you. I've got men in the east, men in the west, but my man here in Holland always loves me the best. I'm an evil gal.
Oh yeah, evil gal.
An evil man. But I'm down in the dumps since I've lost him to understand. If you want to be happy, don't hang around with me. I said if you want to be happy, don't hang around with me.
Hang around with me. I'll make you happy. Yeah.
'Cause I'm an evil gal and I want to set
Yeah, the lovely Diana Washington. Oh, beautiful stuff. So I used to DJ every week down at the 100 Club for the odd 20 years or so, playing me records, and then at the very end switched over to CDs. So I bought all the music on CDs, and then of course laptops came in. Now I've got to confess, I actually like the laptop for DJing because you can carry lots and lots of music, and it doesn't weigh a ton. It's rather good.
But this is why we like playing music from home, because we get to play all the records and not carry them anywhere.
That's very true. Actually, that's quite good. Now, I was just browsing through, just get the next record set up. I was just leafing through my copy of Dancing Times. Dancing Times. And gosh, there's an article called Simon's Guide to Swing.
Are you showing off now?
Yes. So I've been writing for Dancing Times for several years now. And the last article I wrote for them was a little bit similar to one of my swing notes, but slightly different, because I have to do it slightly different. And it was about practicing at home, practicing your dancing at home. And after Anna read it, she said, you know, we work, we do dancing for our living, we teach, we perform, we rehearse, but what about dancing for ourselves? You set this challenge in your dancing. And so we set a challenge for ourselves. It's called the 66-day dance challenge. Now, what is it? It's where I've decided that I'm going to dance for myself, not for preparing a class, not for teaching, performing, practice, just dancing for myself, sometimes alone, sometimes with Anna, sometimes we do it separately, sometimes together. And we dance for a minimum of 3 songs, sometimes more. And I found it great. The other day I was practicing my isolations, and somebody did say isolations very appropriate in isolation, isolations and isolations. But
we found out it was really good actually to listen to new music, because if we're in a class or a club, we're going to play music that we know or trust. But Simon actually has accumulated years and years of music that we still have to get through, and so we just often put it on random, and we discovered lots of tunes. So once we actually did dance to a bit of a Scottish jig, but we also find a lot of new swing music and rhythm and blues, and it's a great way to sort of a great way for discovery.
I love the challenge of having to try and interpret whatever I hear. So some dancers, I spoke to a band the other day. I was interviewing a band leader, and he said when he used to play for early swing dances, he said the dancers were very particular. They like this medium range tempo, which is great for dancing. However, I think it's quite nice to be challenged with something fast, to be challenged with something slow, to be challenged with something a bit Charleston, a bit Balboa-ish, a bit shaggish. You know, there's all these different styles of genres of music. Sometimes one or two of the songs have like chatting at the beginning, and you can dance to that. You can interpret that in different ways. Move the arms, tell a story, tell the time, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock. 6:30, I don't know.
I'm not sure how good your timetelling is.
But you get the idea. You can do stuff with it. So I'm hoping that some of you will be inspired to do that. Now, I see a few comments. What have we got people saying?
Yeah, but also a few of you have actually committed to the same challenge last week on Monday.
How are you getting on?
So how are you getting on? How are you finding it? Are you enjoying it? I hope so.
Yeah, let us know if you're doing the challenge.
Catherine was doing the challenge.
What's that there?
Margarita. So, Jennifer has been doing the 60-day challenge.
Excellent.
6th day today, and she thinks it's a fab idea and challenging them.
And several people have asked me. Several people actually said, "Why 66?"
Yeah. Oh, and Jim and Florence are at day 8. Well done.
Day 8. Me too. Okay. The challenge is on. So I chose 66 because I listened to The One Thing by Gary Keller, and he has this wonderful book which I read about really focusing on one thing, but he also talks about habits, and I am a keen fan of a lot of these self-development books. I've read a lot of James Clear, who talks about habits and how long they take to develop. There is different opinions, but of course at the end of the day, it depends what habit you're trying to develop. You know, some habits are going to be easier and some are going to be a bit longer. So we chose 66 because that's one of the times they they recommended as a good length. Because basically, if you can do it for 66 days, the chances are you'll continue it. So why not dance every day for the rest of your life and make life a beautiful thing?
Margarita says every day for sure.
Excellent. I think at that point, it's actually, did you bring the jam?
Oh, I didn't.
We didn't bring jam. Okay, Anna's going to get the jam. Why do we have jam?
It's not any jam.
Is it to go on our muffins or our crumpets, I hear you saying? Because I like a nice bit of jam on our crumpets. There's a message. I'm looking on YouTube, Facebook, and iPhone. Oh, so we're being watched from 3 different medias. And we have jam because it's our birthday jam. Is it anybody's birthday, or is anybody celebrating any special event? So we're going to play, actually, I'm going to play a bit of a classic today. Last week we played something a bit different. The week before we played a French song for Jane, actually. But this one, Jane Derek, we're going to have a happy birthday boogie for anyone who's celebrating anything. Maybe you're celebrating 8 days of doing the dance challenge. Maybe you're celebrating the fact that you've been staying in and eating great food and watching us at Sway Online. maybe that's a reason to celebrate.
And just to say, we want to wish a happy birthday to Holly, who's one of our
Yes, Holly.
teacher and DJ normally at Sway, and of course we can't have our whole team here tonight every Monday. We'd love to, but not allowed. So happy birthday, Holly, was yesterday actually. But we hope
Okay,
you have
happy
a
birthday,
wonderful
Holly.
day.
Let's dance, and you'll notice a birthday jam. If you don't know what it is you dance with everyone in the room. So that means if you've got a partner that doesn't dance, they've got to dance this song. If you've got a dog or a cat, they've got to dance this song. So grab your partners. You notice actually we've got several people in this room who it's actually Anna's birthday today, and she's going to be dancing with everyone in this room. There's lots of characters. So let's have a little happy birthday, and maybe after that we'll follow it with the Shim Sham. You know the procedure, Shim Sham time. So do you want to get the cameras ready for the dance floor?
Yeah. Yeah, Ipo is saying happy birthday to Holly as well.
Happy birthday,
Indeed.
Holly. And let's dance. So this birthday song goes out to Holly and anyone else who's celebrating.
Okay.
Dreams come marching through that door.
Yes.
Next time.
I hope you get what you want, and you want what you're wishing for. I hope you get what you want, and you want what you're wishing for. And when you get what you want, thank your lucky star.
Next.
You have wealth and happiness too. So this great book is just for you. Now that you surround me with the things you adore, I'll happy birthday just once more. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Anyone's birthday, happy birthday to you. Celebrating any sort of celebration. Shim Sham.
Shimmy.
Take it away. You all know this now. Everybody push it and cross over. Take it. Freeze. Shoot the breeze through the knees. And dance. Freeze. Mess around. Freeze. Follows around the leaders. And freeze. Leaders around the follows. And dance. Freeze. Shim Sham. Okay, hands up, all those people that did the Shim Sham. Give us a like if you did the Shim Sham. Give us a like if you were just sitting down doing it mentally with your glass of wine.
Now they're all wishing me a happy birthday. You've been very naughty because we did celebrate my birthday on Swing and Sway about a month ago.
Well, you're like the Queen, Anna. So it was like the Queen's,
yeah,
you know.
several birthdays. Well, like
several
that.
birthdays,
I do
yes.
like that.
But don't expect another present, that's all I can say.
Well.
No, it's Holly's birthday, it wasn't yours. But of course it will be yours next year. So not so long to wait. Okay, so Anna, tell us what you've been up to this week.
Well, mainly baking cheesecake.
Baking cheesecake, excellent.
My first New York style cheesecake. I'm quite proud.
And
I hope I
I'm
can
proud
salvage
of
a piece from Selmon. I'd
I've
like to know how it tastes like.
I've got to say, I can tell you it tasted very, very good. So I can thoroughly recommend it. If any of you want to come around for cheesecake, there's not much left, but help yourself, come around.
So how about you? What you've been up to, apart from
Well,
eating cheesecake?
I've actually been working quite hard. I've been quite busy. I've been learning how to edit these videos. Now, some of the videos we've made recently, you'll notice have quite a few edits. It's not me practicing, it's just our bad film, because the editing starts in the filming process, and we haven't quite mastered that yet, but we're getting better. So I hope you watch some of those videos we do. I hope you've been watching Anna's Jazzilations, because some of those I think are excellent.
Oh, well, thank you.
And
actually, a couple of people have mentioned them online, so thank you very much for watching them.
Fantastic. And I've been working on my swingers. Many, many of you have said to me over the last 3 years since I've been writing them, where do we see the back issues? Because I send them out free on my mailing list. So if you sign up, SwingdanceUK.com. Every Sunday I send one out free. This week we wrote about the jive aces. Thank you, Ken and Ian, for a wonderful interview. In fact, it was such a good interview, it's in 2 parts. So next week you've got the second part.
Yeah, very interesting. Can we have a preview? Why are they an interesting group to chat to?
Well, they're an interesting group because...
Don't tell everything.
No, I won't. I'll keep a few secrets back. But they were dancers before they were playing music professionally, and they were on the scene, and they understood, I think they understand what the dancing was about, and they've taken that flavour into their music. So they really, they're such lovely guys. I've known them for, well, since the 80s, for a very long time.
When you were 3.
When I was 3, correct. Well said. I'll let you have some of that cheesecake now. I've known them for a very long time, and they weren't just happy to do the dancing that they saw around them. They were watching some of the old movies. Haha, where have I heard that before? We watched a lot of the old movies. We used to get all these bootleg videos.
Yeah.
I used to record musicals off the TV on the old video. That's a little tape thing. Some of you won't remember because you're too young. But we had tapes.
Don't look at me.
No, exactly.
I remember tapes.
And I would record all the little dance clips, and I used to exchange them with friends. We used to, swap. And I found a new dance clip here. Let me send you a copy, and they'd say the same. And they were really into the dancing. They even had a dance group back in like the early 80s.
Yeah.
I think it must be one of the first groups around like that. That they were trying to do some early swing. They were on the rock and roll circuit. They were looking at films like Rock Around the Clock. And so very interesting. And I think they've taken that across, that flavour, into their playing.
So part 1 came out yesterday.
Yes.
And part 2 this Sunday.
Yes. So
but what if people weren't signed in on the
Well,
mailing
this is
list?
what I was coming to. If you weren't signed on the list, I finally, after 3 years, put up the back issues on my Lindy Hop shop website. So you go to either SwingdanceUK or the Lindy Hop shop, and you can find, it's called Swing Notes, and there are over 170 of them.
Can you believe it? It starts with 1. When Simon started the Swing Notes, I said, well, don't promise to do them every week because it's never going to happen. Well, he proved me wrong because it has happened every week. A Swing Note has gone out. By hook or by crook, he always made it.
It was actually my challenge.
Impressed.
It was actually my challenge back then.
Yeah.
So
Still
it was
going.
a challenge. So it's still going, and you can now get all the back issues. So it's taken me a while to put them up. It probably took this virus for me to get them up. And hopefully, if you've got lots of spare time and love reading them, then you can go and get the back issues. Has anyone else joined us? I see some more people.
Anne is online. Bonsoir, Anne. And
Hello,
said she wished she had known about all that in the 80s, that there was dancing and music going on. Yeah, there wasn't that much going on. I think it was just a few passionate people who sort of looked for that gold dust here and there. We're very lucky now to have so much music, so much dancing around. Of course, not just right this moment, but we're still online.
And somebody, oh, Mariella, hello, Mariella.
She says, well done. Hi, Mariella, lovely to see you, if we can say that.
Now, Mariella, it's good that you've come online.
Perfect.
Because Mariella is a good friend of ours, and she's also a very, very talented artist. And she's been doing our jazz animals. So we had this idea of creating some jazz animals, and she's actually put the ideas into reality. And we have a new one coming out next Saturday. So you heard it here first, folks.
Can I show it? Am I allowed to show it?
Oh,
so
yes.
I'm very sorry because on Facebook I can't show you, but if you're on YouTube, I'm going to show you the brand new design, Bees Knees Louise. Isn't she fantastic?
So Lemur. So
Elima.
Elima. So she is a
Biology's
unique,
not your strongest point.
She is a unique design made for us specially by Mariella and part of a wonderful collection and available in t-shirts, mugs, tote bags, beach towels.
We've got new tote bags that are eco-friendly, aren't they?
Yes, eco-friendly, like us.
Degradable. So yeah, super
like us.
exciting.
We're degradable as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are degradable. Okay,
Is
I think it's time for more music.
Yeah, it's time for some more music. So what should we have next? Should we have another record? Let's have the wonderful Joe Turner. Fantastic. And this is called Morning, Noon and Night. So get your dancing shoes on, all you rock and rollers. This is Joe Turner. Let's have a look. It's coming on. Worth the wait, worth the wait. Here we go. Let's dance.
Thank you, Esther. Hello.
Down in the barnyard picking up chip. Long in the book out, swinging her hip. I get lonesome every day. Cause my baby walks that way. Morning, noon, and night. Morning, noon, and night. Love you, pretty baby. Morning, noon, and night. Morning, watching on the line. I'm the old man just mine. I would enjoy myself the most if I ever got that slow. Morning, noon, and night. Morning, noon, and night. Love you, pretty baby. Morning, noon, and night. All the dishes in the kitchen sink. Sound, baby, let's have a little drink. I will hold you on my knee, but ain't no thing to you killing me. Morning, noon, and night. Morning, noon, and night. Love you, pretty baby. Morning, noon, and night. woke up this morning about 4:30, beer cans and bottles all over the floor. There's one thing I would like to know. How you stay high and live so low. Morning, noon, and night. Morning, noon, and night. Lord, you pretty baby. Morning, noon, and night.
Woo-wee. Yeah, the wonderful Big Joel Turner. So we were talking earlier about the music, and we were saying how jazz, big band, swing music was on the decline. So I found it quite interesting. I'm not really an expert on the subject, but I've always been interested for many years more in the music side. Obviously, the dancing side, I like to think I know a little bit more, but the music side itself, I know the music I enjoy dancing to, and it is quite a mixture of music from rock and roll. That really was the sort of early 50s rock and roll, such as Bill Haley. I think it's great to dance to. And the rhythm and blues still has that more jazzy flavour to it. So I love dancing to that. Smaller bands, stronger rhythm section with the guitar taking over and the drummer being a little bit more hard hitting. And of course, the big bands, they grew up at a time when the jazz age was growing, and there was prohibition in America, and there were all the speakeasy clubs which had all the money. You know, they tried to, in America, they decided to ban alcohol because they thought that it created gangsters, and they thought it created vices, and so they thought they could clear them all up by having prohibition, and in fact the reverse happened. They created more gangsters, wealthier ones, who could afford entertainment, and they would drink wine like it was nobody's business. They were in speakeasies, and it went on for about 13 years, prohibition, and was probably a very wild time if you're in the clubs. Frankie said they used to see the gangsters, but they didn't. Although they worked in the Cotton Club and that, they used to see them, but they didn't really have anything to do with them.
Stayed out of trouble, I think, with the dancing, because they were dancing non-stop. They were rehearsing all day, performing all night, and then going out social dancing. So they didn't have time to be in trouble.
That's true. So, and then of course the Depression came in the 29 with the Wall Street collapse, and the Depression lasted for about 10 years. So it does make you wonder with this COVID virus if all countries around the world, their economic situation, we could be in for another depression.
Gosh, that's not what we're here tonight.
No, but
oh, you mean you want to bring back the Charleston? It's the 20s.
Oh, the 20s was the Charleston, so we might come to that in a second. But in the 30s, people wanted to dance, and it was happy music and big bands. You would have thought they would have had small bands, but they had big bands because they created lots of entertainment. And right in the Depression, it was big band music that made people forget their troubles. So maybe tonight we'll play some big band music and some R&B, and you can dance and you can forget all your troubles. But you mentioned Charleston. Now, I've got a couple of songs now, not technically Charleston, but songs that you can dance Charleston steps to. So you don't need a partner for this.
And if you're new to this show, if it's your first week, every week we do a Charleston circle. So everyone gets up, get into the circle, and just copy
Brilliant.
us.
Yeah.
Dance.
So everyone in the circle, and in fact, let us know if anyone's here for the first time. And if anyone found us on Facebook just by chance, we'd love to know if you just found us, just scrolling through Facebook as one does. Normally we're on YouTube only, but maybe we could do both. Maybe we do Facebook and YouTube. It's hard to know where to look though. So if you think I'm not looking at you, it's because I'm looking at the other camera.
Sorry, it was all improvised tonight because we for those who joined halfway, we had difficulties with our YouTube connection. So we switched to Facebook, but we reopened YouTube. But if that works for everyone, we might set it up a little bit better so that we don't keep switching, and we can talk to all of you guys, whatever your favorite social media is.
Okay.
Right, time to dance. Time for some Charleston.
Yep, you don't need a partner for this.
Everybody up.
This is Louis Prima and Widgie Malone. Here we go. Charleston Circle. chat. Okay, this one's more freestyle. Don't copy us, just dance. Nobody's Sweetheart by Mr. Cab Calloway. Now, I want to do a quick poll for all of you people out there. How many of you have got non-dancing partners and how many of you have got them up dancing? So, have we had some more people join us?
Yes, we've got Glenn joined us.
Glenn, welcome.
Hello. He didn't know about the live broadcast and he's enjoying it. We are live every Monday, usually on YouTube, but it sounds like we might add the Facebook to it as well every Monday night.
Kills, we're having a few problems with our YouTube. I can see it has slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, we got connection issues today, but never mind. We found you on Facebook. Some of you are still on YouTube, so we keep going. Emily has joined us. Hi.
Hi, Em. How are you? Beautiful Charleston, yes. That's the lovely Anna. Have you been watching Anna's Jazzolations? She's been teaching some pretty cool steps every day. What number are you on?
That is my challenge. I think it's 33 today. 33 days every day. I've come up with a 4/8 sequence, a very short jazz sequence, and every sequence is based on a different jazz step. And I'm just playing to see how many variations or how I can play with that step in different ways, just in 4/8. It's really quick, takes 5 minutes, and it's a bit of fun.
Has anyone got a favourite jazz step that we haven't done yet? If you've been watching them, have you got a favourite jazz step that you would like Anna to create a routine around? It could be a special routine for you.
Just for you. Just for you, I'll create specially.
Okay, let's have a look at this one.
Let's get music for us,
yeah,
DJ Mr. Kicks.
I'm going to get another record out. Now, we were meant to be talking about the rhythm and blues review.
So did you know Willie Bryant?
Willie Bryant was the MC. Now, some of you may know Willie Bryant, or if not, let's find out. Let's do a quick quiz. Who was Willie Bryant? And there was a dance that he was famous for. Does anyone know which dance he was famous for? So,
if you've been on previous shows on Monday,
actually we might have told you. So we'll see if you remember.
Let's see if you listened.
Okay, we're going to have a bit of Louis Jordan next.
No pressure.
Honey and the Bee Ball. So I'm going to get that ready. In the meantime, Willie Bryant, I'm going to give you the answer actually because I can't wait. I'm too excited.
Or maybe
Willie
we
Bryant
can do it afterwards.
We've already done it.
No, I mean we could dance it today.
Yes, we've danced it today.
Have we?
Yes. Willie Bryant was one of the co-creators with Enquiries of the Shim Sham.
I forgot we did it.
Yes. So he was the co-creator of the Shim Sham. And he had an interesting career. He started off as a dancer. He was dancing with the Whitman sisters back in the 20s. He then became a band leader, had a fantastic top big band. In fact, I think on YouTube you've got a clip of Willie Bryant showing a clip. Unfortunately, I do have actually the record sleeve, but it's upstairs in the loft. I can bring it down. So no excuses there. So you'll have to check it out on the YouTube replay to see the cover. Willie Bryant had a wonderful band full of top musicians. In fact, actually, I've got one of his songs I can play a bit later. Yeah, I'll play one a bit later. And he was a band leader. He was also the MC. And this show he was MCing at the Apollo. Now, I know someone who's actually performed at the Apollo.
I know someone too.
Yeah, I did. On Frankie's birthday, we got to perform at the Apollo, which was such a special treat.
That must have been amazing.
It was.
I wasn't there, sadly. I wish I was there.
Yeah, it was rather special. And also, I was with a wonderful company of dancers from all across the world, some of the top dancers from around the world.
You mean a little bit like tonight?
A little bit like tonight. Yes.
Great people from all over the place.
We do. We've had people from America, from Germany, from Sweden,
from South America.
South America.
Have we
got
tonight,
South
actually?
America?
No, maybe not tonight. Maybe they haven't said hello. I'm not sure. Sweden.
So let me just before I play the music, let me remind you, we are on every Monday. Now we also do 2 classes, a beginner's Lindy and an intermediate Lindy, which we post on our YouTube channel. It's free. Although, having said it's free, if anyone did want to give us a like or a subscribe, that would be amazing. And if anyone wanted to give us a donation, we are accepting donations, so that hopefully we can bring you lots more of this sort of stuff. Actually, even if you don't want to donate, just sign up to Swing Notes. It's at £3.99 a month, and you'll get all the back issues, 170 of them to read. And by the time you've read them, not only will there be a lot more coming out, but I'm planning to put a lot more stuff onto my YouTube channel. So it's a little bit like a membership site. Hopefully going to have a forum on there as well. So it's going to build. So you can be in there at the start and get the rock bottom deal for only £3.99 a month. And you can be part.
We got a lot of adverts today, don't we?
You can be part of. Yeah, well, you know, got to keep everyone on their toes. Okay, so we were going to play some music, weren't we? In fact, I want to play. Let me see if I can find this song. He's just stalling for time now. While I find throwing.
Is it going to be
stones.
rhythm and blues?
No, it's Throwing Stones at the Sun, and it was by Willie Bryant and his orchestra. So let's play that next. Throwing Stones at the Sun. Willie Bryant. This was Willie Bryant's band. Should we dance? You too. Let's dance. Throwing Stones at the Sun. Yes, beautiful. That was the Willie Bryant Band. So he was not only a fantastic dancer, MC, he was also a comedian and also an actor and also a band leader of a great band. Cool.
You're right.
Yes, indeed. Now, we normally play a couple of faster songs for all you people that like
Oh.
Shag and Balboa, and then we finish that with a slower song. So I'm going to get the music ready for something a little bit more up-tempo to keep you on your toes.
Meryl is saying that we got Paul up and dancing. Now we know Paul does dance, but not so often. So that's great news, and that's exactly what this show is for. It's got to get everyone up and dancing. Actually, the first week we did it, we had people who were staying with their parents, and they said, "My parents don't dance, but they actually got up and moved around with me, and they did the warm up with us." So that's brilliant news.
So yeah, it's about letting you guys feel part of the community that we had at Sway.
Actually, should we go to Sway right now?
Yes, I think we go to it. Well, if you're on YouTube,
Oh,
we're
yes,
going to
that's
show
true.
some Sway pictures, and somebody will say, "Yes, that was me."
We're back on YouTube as well. Excellent.
Excellent. I think we are back on. We are back on. Fantastic. Let's just stop that for a second.
Enough with the music.
Fantastic.
Okay.
As Al Cooper is, we're going to give that a rest for a second because it's time for Simon and Anna's top tips. So,
Okay, what's your top tip today?
My top tip today was for follows especially, but leaders as well, dance on your toes. Well, what I mean by that, it can vary. So let's have a look. I'm just going to stand up for a second. So my top tip of the day, if
I'll get out of the way, don't worry.
yep, you can see. Okay, top tip of the day. You can dance flat-footed, and I call that like walking. So if I can borrow Anna. So you can dance with the weight back here, and you get one feeling or flavour, a little bit like just casually walking. Or you can take a jog. So when you jog, where does your weight go? It comes slightly forward, so you can move a little bit easier. So now you can dance the same thing and get a little bit more movement out of what you're doing and look a little bit more comfortable. And then, of course, you can really be up on the toes, particularly for the follows. This gives you a lot of styling options. Yeah. So we can be up on the toes, and now you can really move. Try dancing fast, and it's going to be ever so much easier. Yeah. So dance on your toes. That's my top tip for the day. Anna, have you got a tip for us?
My tip today is about using the arms. So we don't only have legs as dancers, we also have those two things attached, and we have to do something with them. Most of the time, one of the arms is attached to our partner, but the other arm has to come alive. So make sure you play with it. Maybe it's just playing with height. Have you tried an arm high? Have you tried an arm low? Try and think of not keeping the arms along your body, but send them a little bit away from you. So lift the elbows, not lift the elbows, but just lift the arms so that as if you had something against your body, so that you have more space to play with them. Think of the wrist and the fingers, and see if you can use them in your dancing. Maybe you're gonna open up, nice and sharp movement.
Guys as well. Cool. Top tips for the days. So it's not just for the followers, it's for leaders as well. So use your arms. Right. Have we had any last comments? I see a few new ones there. What was?
Not on this one.
Not on this one.
I think we've missed a few as well, but people.
Thank you very much for putting up with our troubles.
Yes, indeed.
On the internet. That is Mr. Richard Branson and his Virgin. That I think is what's been the problem. Your live video will be removed soon if you continue to broadcast music that you don't have permission.
Yeah, I'm not trouble.
We're in trouble.
Yeah,
We're
so
in trouble,
the Facebook Live might cut soon, but we are sadly coming towards the end of our session.
Yes.
I'm afraid. So what, before we say goodbye,
okay,
we have a little bit more.
We do. So are we going to dare to use music?
Well,
are they going to ban us? Will we get a strike?
I don't think so. They're just going to remove the video. They're not going to keep it.
Okay. Well, we weren't going to keep it anyway, were we?
No.
So okay. So we have got. Actually, well, in that case, then we could play a song we got permission to play.
Oh, Oh yes, what's that?
So,
oh yes,
this is Kai
on
Hoffman.
Facebook. We do have the permission, specific written permission to use this song. So please don't cut us out.
It's called Baby the Boy Can Jive. It's by Kai Hoffman. And I think she's doing some singing lessons at the moment, so you want to check those out.
Yes, online. She's a fantastic
online
singer.
singing lessons. Kai Hoffman. In fact, we should write it
In the comments.
on the link. So we're going to play Baby the Boy Can Jive by Kai Hoffman. There's a little bit of jump jive for you. And let's have a final dance.
Down at the cooker, not what you call a classic looker. He seemed quite square, but baby, the boy can jive. He was talking on the telephone, on his back a slide trombone. Your basic nerd, but baby, the boy can jive. He got out on the dance floor, and Daddy-o rocked the shot. His feet were fleet and lively, neat. Oh man, the boy can rock. The last time that he takes to say Jitterbugs and I was blown away. He's my big geek, and baby, the boy can jive. Down at the cooker, not what you call a classic looker. He seemed quite square, but baby, the boy can jive. He was talking on the telephone, on his back a slide trombone. Your basic nerd, but baby, the boy can jive. He got out on the dance floor, and Daddy-o with the shot. His feet were fleet and his lines were neat. Oh man, the boy can rock. And the last time that it takes to say Jack Robinson, I was blown away. He's my big geek, and baby, the boy can jive. Let's rock jive, baby. I don't mean baby, so don't you be lazy. Baby, the boy can jive.
Yeah. That's Baby the Boy Can Jive by the wonderful Kai Hoffman. Right. Have you... Oh, I can't check my Fitbit because it's on my phone and we're doing Facebook with it. So I want to know, how many steps have you done tonight? Have you been recording them? Have you logged? Okay, I made a note of my starting. I'm going to see what we finish with and I'm going to write it down. And I want to see if anyone's danced more than me. Maybe you've been up dancing every number.
Well, especially since you're... Oh no, you're wearing your Fitbit, sorry.
Yes, I'm wearing my Fitbit especially so I can record how many steps I do when I dance. Last week I did 4,000 and
something.
300 or something. So let's see if I've beaten it this week, but probably not. Because
We
had that little
haven't danced
interruption at the
quite as
beginning.
much, so yeah.
Although I do feel nice and warm, so I'll be ready for some more of that cheesecake at the end. So that we're coming near to the end. So we normally do a slow and cozy song, but Facebook are telling us to be careful because we're playing music.
YouTube is telling us to be careful too. Well, not careful, but
Are they?
It's telling us that we might not have connection on YouTube.
Ah,
This has been a very interrupted in and out broadcast, so thank you so much for sticking with us.
We will be back next week, hopefully with an all revamped connection that has been sorted and fixed and ready for you. In the meantime, don't forget you can check out Swing Notes. Every Sunday I post those on our mailing list. You can check out our daily jazzolations. You can check out our beginners and intermediate classes. Plus, we want to do more. So if you've got some requests, get those requests in. What do you want?
Yeah.
Oh, and also next Saturday, what are we launching? Bees, Knees, Louise. So if you've been following our Jazz Animals Facebook page, we've been posting a few teasers about that. As that will be launched next Saturday, it will be available to purchase. What else can we say? We didn't do our stroll.
No,
we didn't do our stroll. We didn't do our slow and cozy song.
Once next week.
Yeah, but hopefully you found the thing about the music, the rhythm and blues interesting. You've enjoyed our general rabbiting on, our general chit chat.
Enjoyed finding each other as well. I see a lot of you are connecting and saying hello to each other. So yeah, nice community there.
So that's about it from us. So we're going to leave one song to play you out. Let's have a record. Let's have a little Louis Jordan, because I mean he was the man for rhythm and blues. He was the man. And Honey in a Bee-Ball. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Thanks, guys. See you all next week.
Thanks.
Let us know if you've got any comments. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and all the usual stuff. Music Maestro. Oh, is the speaker on?
It is now. Here we go, Mr. Louis Jordan.
Honey and the Bee-Ball, I can't see you all year. It's a game the kids play underneath the southern moon. Honey and the bee gum, I can't see underneath the southern moon. Honey and the bee gum, I can't see none. Hey kid, it's the last line they say when they gonna find you soon. It's a little hunting game. I'm gonna hunt for you no matter where you go. It's my specialty. I'm gonna find you, then you can never hide no more. Oh, honey in the Bee-Ball, now I see, oh baby. And I don't mean maybe. Now I'll have to hunt no more.
Oh, that was me, okay. Good job they're my records and no one else's. I won't move, I won't move. Thank you, folks. That's it from us. It's been another Swing and Sway. We've loved having you here. Have a great, great, great week. Keep safe, keep healthy, keep active, keep dancing. Do your own 66-day challenge, be it dance or whatever it is, and just have some fun, enjoy the weather. The weather's been pretty gorgeous. Enjoy the home cooked food, enjoy the wonderful time watching us, and just let's just have a wonderful time.
You're out of words.
Bye.
See you next Monday. Bye.